says, I just want your loving, and can't get you out and out. I said, baby, don't you worry, be there in a hurry. Traffic's in a fury, but you know I bring my love on time.
And we are back. I couldn't wait for this one. I think I started following our friend Matt Kapline with low stress bets right around mid-October, and the Broncos were in London and I was in Canada, so I couldn't actually place a bet. So I avoided a loss in like week 6, but then I jumped back on the following one and have seen the dividends that we'll get into later pay off. But Matt, welcome back. Tell us a
Yeah,
little
man.
bit about the year. Tell us a little bit. Give our listeners a reminder about what you're up to and the whole plan here.
Sure. Thanks, guys. Happy 2026. So low stress bets is what I do. I focus only when the odds on minus 150 or better. So I look anywhere from about minus 150 to about minus 1,000. Player props. If I do parlays, releg at most, and the goal is to simply generate return. So my goal is to either beat the S&P 500 each month on a percentage basis, or to beat it over the course of the year. Last year, I didn't beat the market over the course of the year. I made a 2.5% return last year. Not terrible. Profit is profit, but 2.5%. That's like a nice little dividend yield on a blue chip stocks. It was really fun, and looking forward to 2026 being an even better year.
No one goes broke making a profit.
True words, Maddie. True words.
So I want to kind of dive into 2025 a little bit and hear where you felt like I really hit this team or this sport specifically. And I know a lot of your bets are focused on the NFL, but what are some of the other ones, and what are some of the other areas you look at when you're looking at other sports?
So NFL, NBA, NHL, and PGA. NFL, I made about 19.8% return last year. PGA was 14.5% return, and then I was not profitable in NHL or NBA, but the winnings in the other sports obviously made up for the losses.
Yeah.
In terms of things that I found that were for me new and exciting this past year. So in the NFL, I'm basing this off of Caesars. They had a bet where in any game, any team that was an underdog, if they were to score a touchdown, you could grab that for about minus 850 or so. Whichever team was the underdog. Yep. Houston Texans were an underdog, and anytime a team was an underdog. So that was kind of a fun bet that I added on a couple times last year. But also, just alternate lines, alternate spreads. Gideon, the bet that you and I were talking about, three team parlay. I think I took each team plus 17.5.
Yeah,
it made 40 some odd percent. It's like, you don't work too hard.
It was a running joke because, Maddie or someone would text me like, oh, hey, I've got this parlay in, it's $20 to win 450. And I was like, well, I've got a nice $50 bet in to win 13 that's going to hit. And it was like the Bengals plus 38 and the Chargers plus 16 against the Jets and the Cardinals.
You know what? I was thinking of you inadvertently I was watching the Patriots Chargers game, and I had some money, so I was like looking around for some live bets, and I stumbled upon an area of FanDuel where you can bet like squares, like Super Bowl squares. So it's the final score. I had no idea that existed. I threw $10 at what the ultimate final score ended up being, one possession before the team scored the final point. And that's a fun watch. That's like a fun little, because you're not betting, like, I wouldn't do it again with a team that I wanted to win, because if you don't care who wins, it's kind of fun. You're just like tracking Super Bowl squares. But that's a good idea. Like, that's a way that, and the odds were crazy. It was like the Patriots scored a touchdown to get to the number I needed. The Chargers didn't score any more points. So I was only one score away, and it was not that unlikely, and it was like plus 700. It was something crazy. Like, the odds, they're high for a reason. It must never hit, but it seemed like it was like too good to be true. Like, they only needed one more score and then no more scores for the rest of the quarter, which I guess is probably pretty unlikely, because why would anybody do that bet? But yeah, there's some fun. There's probably some arbitrage in there somewhere. I just got into it.
Yeah. Scrolling all the way over to the right, that's where the good stuff is in the menu.
Yeah.
And then, you've been doing this and it's minus 150 is the rule. Is there ever a time where you're like torn? Things, plus 120. You've got the Steelers are your favorite team. You've been following them. You're reading the beat reports, and you're like, no, they're going to win this game. Are you ever tempted to stray from your?
If and there are times whenever I wouldn't send that out to people. So as you guys know, I send out all my bets via email, completely free. I'm looking at this as I'm trying to give someone advice. And as you guys know, whenever you're betting $100 to win 20 or 30 or 40, you make a little bit of money, but you're not making record-breaking money. It's not something that I would give to someone and say, "Oh, you should definitely do this."
Yeah.
You can absolutely bet that way if you want to, but I just don't want to. I never want to lose a bet to begin with, let alone tell you what to do with your money and have it be a low probability activity. So.
Yeah. That's the discipline we talked about last time you were here, though. Like, it's so easy. Like you said, you scroll to the right. That's where the fun bets are. Like, you can get into anything now. And last I checked, those bets aren't losing any money. This is an adjacent thing. I wonder if you saw this. Massachusetts banned the prediction app Kalshi from having sports bets on it the other day. So, and my guess there is DraftKings is headquartered in Boston. My guess is they slid some money and were like, hey, this is infringing on our zone a little bit. But yeah, the prediction markets have been taking off, and Kalshi is the one that's regulated the highest. And if you're in Mass, if your geolocation is in Mass, there's no sports betting or sports predicting on there at all now.
Interesting. I have not got into the prediction markets. And I've looked at them a little bit, but I haven't. Have you guys?
I want to, but the more and more I read about it, it's like not. It seems like a get rich quick scheme, and nobody's actually getting rich. So, I mean, it's binary betting. You're betting against somebody else. So I'm betting in an outcome, and you're betting the opposite outcome, and whoever loses pays the other person. That's basically what it is. So it's cleaner for people who feel like they can get an edge betting against another human as opposed to betting against Vegas, which is probably better. Has to be better odds, guaranteed better odds. I don't know. I can't really figure out where the openings are, though. I mean, there's weird stuff you can bet on. I saw people who were putting predictions in instead of paying for home insurance in areas where they are likely to get like a hurricane or a tornado or something. They're putting predictions in on if there will be one of those things. And if it hits, they'll get all that money back and they won't have to deal with insurance, and they'll just pay and buy into whatever they got to do. So there's some implications with the prediction markets that are very unique that are not the same as the gambling sites, and I don't know where it goes, but it's definitely, I mean, it's no different from just gambling against somebody else. I think this will happen. You think this will happen. That's really what it is, but I don't know enough about them yet. I got to dig in a little more. I'm intrigued, but
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That's something.
I'm curious, Matt, because last time we spoke, it was right before the NBA betting scandal. And so I'm curious, like, what adjustments you've seen Vegas make or some of the sports books make as those not parlays, but those prop bets have started to fade a little bit.
I really don't play in the individual prop markets. It's hard for me to say. And the other thing, and even in addition to the NBA betting, did you see that there's that college betting scandal?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine for it, right?
Yeah, those kids, maybe less now with NIL, those kids won't feel as obligated to have to do it. But yeah, it was, I don't know.
I mean, that's like tale as old as time stuff. I mean, that's good hella stuff right there.
Yeah. I was just flipping around on TV earlier, and I came across a 30 for 30 where they were talking about some scandal, like the mob was betting Boston College games. I didn't even know that happened. But you're right, to your point, it was happening all the time. It was not uncommon at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I don't like to bet college anything, and I say that for a number of reasons. Like, I don't understand college athletics anymore. College football is nowadays the Big Ten has 16 teams, the Big 12 has 18 teams.
None of it makes sense.
Stanford's in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. It doesn't make any sense to me. And the players jump every 10 minutes. The coach of Ole Miss was coaching LSU during the bowl game. What are we doing here, folks?
Yeah.
They
got to change this. Yeah, the bowl games don't matter. Like, the whole calendar needs to be changed. They got to fix a lot of things over there. Yeah, it's bad.
So going back to looking at some of like the teams and the trends and where you hit, were there either specific teams or specific areas of a type of team, right? Like, this team's got a great defensive line, they're going to be effective here, like that you would look at week after week to kind of determine where you were going to stake your claim?
Sure. So I always tried to avoid bad teams. So if we're talking a team that's like a 4-10 record versus a team that's 5-9 record, get those guys out of my way. Like I'm not trying to figure out which of two bad teams is not as bad as the other one. But if we're getting into specific teams, like being the Steelers are my team, I would always try to think around them as much as I could. In addition to that, I also try to stay around the division. So Bengals, Browns, Ravens, and Steelers, just some familiarity with those teams as much as possible. And then I'm saying to myself, okay, any time you've got a game in a division, so like Steelers Ravens, that's usually like a field goal game. So if you can pick up one of those teams plus 10.5 or something like that, like you're basically counting your money at that point in time. And I really looked at that more so this year and started to understand even outside of AFC North, thinking like, wow, for example, the Panthers and Buccaneers. That's a rivalry that I didn't. Yeah. Just being focused on my division, I didn't appreciate that previously. Patriots, Bills, and especially as the year progressed, I'd look at things like that, and then I'd look at weather, especially in much more detail than previous years. Oh wow, wind gusts are going to be 30 miles per hour. Let me move that line from 42.5 up to 53.5 and grab the under there. Doing things like that, because there's been a lot of very windy, weather susceptible games, I'll say. So trying to combine that divisional aspect of this is probably going to be a close game, and then using the weather to our advantage. That's been, those two things have been really helpful.
Did we talk last time at all about like what home field advantage is worth in the NFL? Did we have this conversation?
I don't know if we pinpointed it.
Okay, because I saw some stuff on it. Honestly, it was right after we had talked. So like I just happened to come across it and I was like, I want to talk about this next time. So there was a guy, I don't know who had him on. It might have been Pat McAfee or somebody, and they were just talking about this kind of stuff. And all along, I've assumed home field advantage is worth 3 points. That was just like I was like 3 points. That's what it is. It's actually like 1. Vegas considers it like 1.5. In rare cases 2, but generally speaking, they give like a point and a half, which doesn't seem like much, but I was surprised to hear that. So did you know about that, Matt? And have you like looked into that at all? Or have you like, if you see a team that you think is pretty evenly matched to another team and the line is 3, is that like a free point and a half? Like, does that come into play at all?
I was also of the mindset that it was 3 points. And I'm same as you, Maddie. I also recently heard I've heard anywhere from a point to maybe almost nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't use that to change anything that I was doing though, but it was pretty eye opening to hear that like it's like, what do you mean it's worth nothing or almost nothing? But that didn't deviate with my picks.
The guy had said that the only real home whatever advantage anymore is college basketball in a few arenas. Like Duke has a true home court advantage. Like that place is very unique. The fans are on top of you. They're maniacal. But yeah, I guess we've, as a whole, the betting community have overrated how much home field, home court, whatever is actually worth. It's not nearly as much as I always thought it was, which I thought was interesting.
He's only saying that because the Patriots are on the road this week.
They're gonna lose.
Well, I mean, for certain fan bases, like if you're playing the Bills, those fans will go anywhere. It sounds like anyone playing it at Los Angeles Chargers, it's basically a home game for the Disney.
Yeah, Vegas too. It's
Vegas too. Everyone will go to Vegas for that game. So it is really unique to think about, and I had not baked that into anything that I've done, but times are changing.
It's probably already baked in, obviously. Like, we're never early. We're always late on this stuff because Vegas has got our number. But I just thought that was interesting.
I agree.
Gibby, you saw this stat, I'm assuming? Home dogs of at least 4 points in the NFL playoffs are 10-0 against the spread with 6 outright wins over the past 50 years.
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
I did see that. And I think they're, what is it, straight up, I think they've won 6 of the last, 20 games or something straight up. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So I think that's our segue, Matt. As you're thinking about championship weekend, are there any lines, any overs, any alt spreads that have you kind of raising your eyebrows?
What I'm been looking at, and for context, so this is Thursday night. Games are Sunday afternoon and evening. Anything I say depends on what the weather is over those points in times. But so I was looking at the first game, Patriots at Broncos, and I'm not making this bet, Jesse, but there in Caesars they've got this section called Race to, and it's saying race to 20 points. I'm looking at neither team scoring 20 points in the first half.
Yeah.
I'm not making that bet just yet. It's what I'm looking at right now and what's going into that. Okay.
Is that total?
I'm not breaking
Total
any.
won't get above 20, or both teams won't get to 20?
Neither team's score will be 20 points or more. So
that
like last week,
That feels-
2 touchdowns and 2 field goals is 20. I lost that bet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Interesting.
So
That
the
feels
thought process is
pretty good.
exactly on paper it feels pretty good because that Broncos defense fantastic, as we know. Net Patriots defense also pretty good, going up against someone who has
Steady.
not played. I mean, it's like
Be a more
I'm
conservative game plan than it would have been with Knicks. Like that guaranteed. That's like Peyton's not going to be like, here, run all the same. I saw another stat. Actually, this reminds me. Bo Nix, on average, they track this per game. He runs like 450 yards sideways and around and stuff, like just wearing defenses out. That's not Stidham's game. I imagine Peyton's going to have him doing like quick stuff. They're going to try to run the ball. So that would chew some clock and that would lend itself. That seems like a really good.
Yeah. I mean, they're trying to make the game shorter, and that's been, pretty consistent across the year. And I think when you think about like, oh, why did they win so many one-score games, or why was every game so close? It's because they were trying to, bleed clock as much as possible and make for a shorter game and less possessions. And so with Dobbins back too, I mean,
He's
they
back.
should be able to. It looks like he's back at practice. I think he's a full participant, but we don't know if he's going to play yet. But
whatever, if he plays, you might get 10 carries.
like me.
Yeah, he plugged in. You and Mario.
We being the media, not we being.
Perfect. Nice save. Nice save.
I don't know if I can say we the media yet either.
Yeah, no, we're in it. We're credentialed. We're credentialed. You know it. What about that other game? What are you thinking about in that Rams game? That one, Seahawks got a lot of guys on the offensive line banged up.
And I was looking at the stats again today. Rams do have the best offense in terms of points scored per game in the NFL. Seattle has the best defense in terms of fewest points allowed per game. So I'm looking at that and I'm kicking ideas back and forth in my head on that. The line moved upward 1 point. Hold on, let me give you. I just had it up here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, the line moved down 1 point. I apologize. It opened at 47.5. It's down to 46.5 right now.
Yeah.
And then also the Rams are a 2.5 point underdog. So I need to see weather. I need to see the full injury report and everything, but I'm thinking about moving that line to something like Rams plus 15.5.
Yeah.
Maybe make 20 some odd percent or 30 some odd percent on that and hopefully not have to think too hard about it.
If you're talking teasers and stuff, Gibby's in. He's a tease man. He likes to do them. So he's in. You piqued his interest.
Move that line as much as you can in one direction.
I love it.
But you get it past the key number, you can get some pretty good value. Like, they're not perfect. They also, it's a business. They have to entice you to bet somewhere.
Right.
So when you find the leverage, you can usually squeeze on it a little bit. And that's the way no one else, I would imagine a very small percentage of people are sliding that bar.
They're not sliding as far as I am.
Well, sometimes I'll look at the newsletter and I'll see that plus 18.5 on, a team that's 10-6 against a team that's 11-5, and I'll back it off a point or two just to try and increase. And then I, revert back. I don't want to be guilty of it. So, Matt, tell me about. No. So I saw something on Twitter shortly after I started following you, or not Twitter. I think it was Instagram after I started following you, and it was about, all right, great. We want to bet. I'm up $23. What do I do with it? And so what's your philosophy been? And then I'll kind of get into what I sort of took away from it too.
Sure. So my whole idea of low stress bets is that you should bet sports like an investor. As you guys know, these bets, these $100 bets to make $20, $30, $40, like no one's retiring off of that. You're not buying a new sports car the next day. This is built on long-term income and long-term growth, just making money bit by bit. Like I said, 2.5% return last year. That's great. I'm looking to do even better this year. So my whole thought is, okay, if I'm great, I made a $100 bet, I made $40 profit on it. What should I do with it? How can I make even more on that? And I just was thinking about it. I was like, well, go buy a dividend stock. And I like AT&T as a stock. It's not gonna make you oodles and oodles of money overnight, but it does pay a 4.5% or so dividend. So I just made 40% on my bet, and then I realized, hey, I can go take that and then go buy my AT&T and use that with winnings and go make 4% on that per year and let it build and build and build over time. So that's my way of helping to bet like an investor, grow the portfolio, grow the income over time. Again, pretty low risk, pretty low stress activities, but it's all about having that really long-term approach, just managing risk and trying to make reasonable income.
So I loved it so much. I saw it and I was like, you know what? Let me see what I've got kicking around in, Fidelity Cash or whatever. And so I saw the tweet or the Instagram. I went in, I bought another share of AT&T, or I think I had enough. I was like, let me start with 10. Right. And then so I won another bet the next week and I was like, okay, let's stack on another share of AT&T. And so I did that and I started like every Monday now. It's like clockwork. But I was going into Chat GPT and I was like, all right, what is this going to look like in 5 years and 6 years? And having a goal in mind, whether it's like, hey, maybe it's a down payment on your kid's car, right? And so that's kind of what I was thinking about. And it was pretty cool. So it built out like what it would look like. And it was like, what if I did this and this? And then it asked me if I wanted to write a short book about it. And so we got the first 2 chapters up there on ChatGPT, but we're looking for a publisher to carry it. So maybe I'll guest star on your newsletter.
Hey, anytime you want, I'll toss you on there. I'd be happy to. Be really happy to.
No, it's awesome. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's just,
seriously, it does work, right? To a degree, right? You're gonna lose bets, and sometimes it's like, oh crap, I've got, I'm down to $10 in my DraftKings account, but it's absolutely something. It's fun to follow too. You get to have a little bit of fun, and like you said, very low stress, and you walk away up $13. You're just like itching to get to that $70 more, but.
And listen, you can use your low stress bets funds for anything. You go buy a dividend paying stock with it. Go do a high stress bet if you want to. Just trying to make some money over here. That's all.
We've been laughing about that. So ever since we started chatting with you, Gibby, and our other buddy Alex, we'll text back and forth, like occasionally, like little bets that we're looking at. And now the joke is like whether it's a high, medium, or low stress bet. So we'll just like somebody will share like I'm on this, and they'll share like a screenshot of it. It's like this is medium, and like just medium or high, and like they're not gonna hit. It's insane, but we just like as a little a little hat tip to you. We're like, yeah, this is a high stress bet. This is definitely not gonna work.
I appreciate that, guys. Thanks for thinking on me.
No, we do. It's awesome.
Sure.
So before we let you go, I've got to know, coming up 2026, you're getting into NBA, NHL. We've got the Winter Olympics around the corner. Is there any action on the Olympics? Anything that you could tell us about or sports to look out for?
Yeah, I'm gonna be betting hockey for sure. And if you guys remember the Four Nations tournament recently.
Yep.
Okay. So in that, well, I don't know, I won't call it gold medal, but in that championship game, it was US versus Canada. The bet on that game was that no team would be shut out. And it was 1-1 with like 5 minutes left in the first period. It paid like 12%. So I'm going to be looking at things like that in some of the hockey games. So absolutely stay tuned for some Milano Cortina low stress betting, at least in the hockey realm. I'm not ready to say anything about skeleton or luge or anything else like that, but
we need
curling. I want some curling. I got to get into. I love curling. I love watching it. Whenever the Olympics come around, it's probably the only sport that I'll like make sure I put on. I love it. I don't know what it is. I just love it. I'll find a way to bet it.
It makes 2 of us. It's extremely. It's like I don't. It's relaxing, but it's exciting all at the same time. It's enjoyable. But stay tuned at least for hockey. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I don't know anything about speed skating. At bare minimum, I'll be watching. It's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if there's anything, you can throw a side one out, and we'll have a paywall up for your high stress bets.
And hey, listen, guys, we're in the Hawaii swing right now on the PGA. We got the West Coast swing coming up in golf, and golf is my other main sport too. So happy to talk about it anytime you want.
I've got a high stress 3-guy top 20 for this tournament right now live, which is actually after day one, it's not in bad shape, but those are kind of fun because they're definitely like they're high stress. Yeah.
And golf is fun even without a bet on it, but then whenever you're looking at every single putt and every single shot, oh man.
It is nice though. Like,
yes, indeed, Maddie.
When they're out west to start in Hawaii to start this swing, like to start off the golf season, there is something really nice about like seeing golf on TV again. Like I'll make a point to watch it because it's like I'm here and it's cold and it sucks. And I'm like, I want to see these guys hitting some balls, and they're playing more and more of the tournaments now, so it's nice. Yeah, this week's one has been good, but we're ramping back up. I'll be following.
Are you kind of like waiting the first couple tournaments, the first couple rounds to get a sense of where guys are at, or they've been playing enough that you're not worried about like off season coming back a little rusty the first, tournament or two?
Yeah, no. So for golf, here's exactly what I do for golf. Wait until in between the third round and the fourth round. At that point in time, that's whenever you see, let's say a guy's 2 shots off the lead or something like that, and he's tied for third place. You can grab someone like that to finish maybe top 10 or top 20,
Yep.
so like minus 300, minus 400 or so. That way, I'm not waiting 3 days, and that's what and a good caliber player too. I'm talking like a Matthew Fitzpatrick, for example. Someone like that. That's where I've had a lot of my success in golf.
Yeah, like
Again,
that.
I'm trying to get rid of as much variance as possible. Just
Yeah.
focus on literally make it a 1-day tournament and do it that way.
Yeah, because if you're and plus, I feel like, and we talked about this, if you're physically watching the tournament, you can kind of get a sense for when a guy is hitting the ball well. It's the only sport you can really do that. You can't there's no other sport where you can like play that momentum. And to your point,
Right.
if you dip in late, you can see a guy who like may be out of contention, but he's playing really, really well with no pressure. A top 10 seems like a really good. So I'm gonna try. I remember you telling us that. I'm gonna try to do more of that this year because then it shortens the tournament, like you said, to 1 day, which is great.
Exactly. And you can see, oh wow, he shot 68, 68, 67. He's clearly playing well. I can feel pretty comfortable about doing that.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna be into that.
Love it. Matt, tell us your winners for the conference round. It doesn't have to be your published bet, but what is your gut telling you for the AFC and the NFC? And you're not going to hurt any feelings. You'll be welcome back on the show either way.
This is tough, guys. Let me start off with NFC. I'll go Rams in the NFC. If you're really forcing me to, I have to pick a team right now. I would pick the Rams as we sit here on Thursday evening, and then for the AFC, the battle.
Gibby's really holding out on this one.
No, I'm okay either way. I've seen it.
New England.
It's okay.
I personally, I told you earlier, but we started. I bet the Broncos. So it's just value. There's way too much value. Like it's too many points. So it's
It's Matt's still welcome. I got quiet.
I was picking those straight up. I wasn't looking at points. I wasn't looking at anything. I was just merely saying who's going to win the game.
Yeah.
But it's all subject to change.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun Sunday. And are you getting any weather?
You're getting smart.
You're in Pittsburgh, right? Yeah.
We're supposed to. Let's see it all actually happen.
It slid up north, and now we're getting most of it. I don't even think Gibby. I'm going to get more of it than you. I'm going to get
probably
here. They're talking about a foot. I'm going to have to snow blow multiple times. I hate that.
All the Raiders or all the Patriots had to do was beat the Raiders week 1, and they could have been hosting this epic snowstorm game.
Think about that.
Is the difference in the champion going to the Super Bowl. Interesting times. Brady, this is all Brady's fault. Somehow, some way, Brady did this.
Your beloved Patriots also lost to the Steelers too. You could have beat the Steelers. That could have solved your problem.
Yeah. Both of those. Yeah, the Steelers loss was like they just handed it away. I remember they fumbled like 3 times at the goal line or something. And then they didn't again. Yeah, it's interesting though. We'll see how much home field matters because we're gonna find out our answer to that.
It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I mean these are 2 of the like vaunted home fields, right, in football. So it's it'll be interesting to see if it takes shape at all. I'm excited also for your Steelers for next year. I just thought of your head coach, an up and comer quarterback coach, because you also need a quarterback, Davis Webb.
Yeah,
Denver. You trade Denver a 3rd rounder this year.
Too rich
for Stidham, and a 4th rounder next year. After Stidham leads Denver to the Super Bowl, you sign him for a 2-year prove-it deal, $60 million. Done deal.
I mean, he's got to be better than Fields.
Yeah.
So that's right out of the gate. That's
I don't know. Everything is just up in the air. Everything is just so.
Well, they were saying that like part of the reason this is such a bad way to do business, but they might bring in McCarthy because it would let them keep Rodgers.
I don't foresee that. Thinking about it, Pittsburgh Steelers, we've had this will be our 4th head coach in well over 5 decades now. We're traditionally the team thinks very long term. The team thinks in decades, not so much in years. I mean that would be I'm going to say that that's a nice headline for another team, but that's not really for the Steelers, at least historically.
I like the idea of
But
Shula or
subject
one
to
of these
change.
younger offensive-minded coaches just to mix it up there a little bit and there's pieces there. We just got to get them.
Right.
But that's the other
Well,
thing
I
you
feel
talked
like
about. It's hard to
Mhm.
find a quarterback right now. There aren't that many of them out there.
Well, that's why I brought up Stidham. I mean, there's a scenario where he parlays 2 weeks into,
Yeah, I might do you one better. Mac Jones. You got Mac Jones. You'll be in business. You'll have everything you need.
No, I know. I get it. It's just wild. But Matt, tell us again where our listeners can find you and enjoy the winnings. There's nothing quite like, oh man, I'm scrolling through. I've won my last 5 bets. It doesn't matter the dollar amount at that point. But so where can we find you?
Instagram, YouTube, X. It's all low stress bets is the handle. You can go to lowstressbets.com, sign up to receive the bets and a Sunday morning newsletter right at the intersection of sports betting and investing. It's all free. So thanks very much, guys. Happy to be a part of this again. Anytime. It's always a blast.
Yeah, man. We love having you. Give me back.
We'll need you back on for Masters, so I
Yes.
don't, go too wild.
Yeah, that will be the Masters is the best.
That's a good one to live bet because I'll watch that whole thing. Like I won't be missing any shots.
And end to end.
We'll get frisky with the Masters. We'll have to get Bud involved too. We'll see if he'll.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right,
Matt,
man, good to
thank
see
you
you.
so much.
Thanks, guys.
We'll be back next week, potentially. Who knows? Snowstorm and there's a football game. I might not talk to Maddie after the weekend's over.